Smash like.
This is, because I'm thinking benevolent, superior,
They
civilization.
seem to be benevolent. They're very patient. They may have allowed proto-humans to survive from the very beginning, because again, the implication is that those primitive beings might have been on their way out because they would have been outcompeted.
Yeah, the leopards would have got them, or
Right.
yeah, exactly. The tapirs would have ate the last of their food.
And that brings us to the hotel room. Well, I won't even say hotel room, bedroom suite. And as you astutely pointed out, when he arrives, we don't immediately see him. We see his perspective from inside the pod looking out. The pod is still there because the screens are now registering malfunction.
Non-function. And then
so there's still a tie back to the reality that we came from.
The
briefly.
transition, the cinematic transition to that moment too, is from the psychedelic thing that we just saw to back to the more traditional like prop. Is his eye again. It's the psychedelic color, and then the colors bleed out to a realistic looking eye, right? So it's actually like Kira Delia's eye, I assume. Because he does have pretty striking, like grayish,
super striking
blue eyes.
Yeah, they really stick out.
It makes you wonder if he was cast for that. Like if that was a contributing factor in the fact that he was cast for that role.
I don't know why he was. I don't know why he was cast. I don't know.
I don't.
He was just coming off of a movie that I only saw maybe 3 or 4 years ago. What Happened to Bunny something? I can't remember the last name of the character. It's a good movie. You should check it out. It's a whodunit. Laurence Olivier is the detective.
Olivier.
And Keir Dullea is a suspect. He talks a lot more than he does in this movie, and it kept me guessing. Because Bunny, I can't remember what the last name is, the eponymous subject, has disappeared very inexplicably. Where has she gone? Check it out. It's black and white.
Funny you say Bunny, because I have in my notes here that Bowman is like a scared rabbit being taken to the vet.
Right. He's out of his
sitting in
element.
That pod, and he doesn't know what to do next, and he's just like, "Oh my god, what just happened?" Right?
He has no idea. He's not even really himself anymore.
No. Well, he's
changed.
Traumatized.
He's traumatized for sure. And interestingly, I think this is an interesting choice by Kubrick, that when he emerges from the pod, and for one scene the pod is still there, and then the next scene the pod is gone.
Yes.
But you see that Bowman has aged inside that helmet. How long did the journey take? Did the journey take years in his time? Did it take as long as it took in the movie, seconds, and that the journey is so hard on the human body that it caused that kind of aging? We don't know.
So I think we're led to believe through some indications of Bowman's the human aging process, if you want to call it that time is not operating at the same.
Right.
Time is either immaterial here, or it's just off.
So you have he first examines the bathroom, which I don't even remember seeing before in previous viewings. So I'm sure it's always been there, and it just didn't register with me.
Same.
But the bedroom is the more iconic scene, so that's the one that I guess stuck with me. But he first looks at the bathroom, and then, as you mentioned earlier, he hears something or senses something behind him in the main bedroom, and he slowly turns around. Now, after having been through this traumatic experience led by what we assume is an alien intelligence, what's behind him? And he turns so slowly, and there's no noise. Everything is dead silent. There's no music this time, nothing. So it's that psychological terror of what's in the room with me. And he turns around, and of course he sees himself. but an older version of himself, even older than he was coming out of the portal. But he's in a smoking jacket or a bathrobe, having a leisurely meal, lunch or dinner. What does this all mean? What's happening? What's going on here?
So they don't make eye contact. He doesn't make eye contact with himself, right? So he's in the spacesuit and he
No, he
sees the
sees
back
himself
of his
eating.
head.
He sees himself eating,
Yeah.
but they never look at each other.
Right. And then the man at the table, the bowman at the table in the smoking jacket, senses something.
Right.
You see the back of his head, and he kind of goes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he looks and there's nothing there, but he gets
Right.
up out of his chair to investigate.
And it's this kind of brilliant way of, again, how should I say it? Kubrick's keeping you off balance. He's keeping you completely confused as to what's happening here. You don't know what to make of it. I mean, when you're watching the movie in real time, you have no clue. It's only later when you come out that you have to, you're like, you got to think about it, or you got to watch it again, or you got to watch it again and again, or you got to read somebody else's interpretation in the magazine as to what happened.
Yeah.
So is the hotel room a zoo? Is he being kept there in what the alien intelligence assumes is an environment that is a natural environment for his species?
Right.
Is it in his mind? Is the room not physically real, but it's something that's happening in his mind? How much time is elapsing between the time that one version of himself looks at another version? Is it real time, or is a lot of time? Is he living out is he like Picard in that great episode of TNG where he lives an entire other existence?
The inner light.
Yeah, the inner light. Is it like that? We really can't be sure. We don't know. It's not really important. But one of those things is happening.
It's a dreamscape. So, I don't know if I actually was talking about a lot of this stuff today. Was talking about the idea of the human zoo as a possible explanation for the Fermi paradox. The idea of like lucid dreaming, which I experimented with a couple times, and not even like intention, but like just you ever like eat too much pasta, lay down on the couch and just have one of those like great naps, and you're like you got the radio on or a television on.
Oh yeah, I've had them.
You fall asleep, but you're lightly dreaming.
Yep.
And you have a dream that lasts a week in the dream, but you're on the same track of the song when you wake up.
You're disoriented.
I have no way to explain how that happens, but that's what's
altered consciousness.
That's what's going on in this scene to me.
I think that's a good interpretation.
And when he turns to investigate where he just was, the earlier version of the spacesuit, it's almost like an echo of a psychic echo of the past. Right. So we're getting a sense of time. We're getting a sense of distorted time. Not human.
What a brilliant scene. A scene that when I first saw it, I came out thinking, I don't know what the hell that was. What really? I came out thinking, what is the meaning of the white hotel room? But now, it's 30 plus years since the first time I saw it, and I've seen it, many, many times since then. Now it all seems pretty straightforward. But what he did was he basically tackled the problem of, how do I show what a dream is like? And the example you just gave is perfect. I mean, he's literally showing you what a version of a dream is like in this mind-bending location after you've just been transported either backwards in time, forwards in time, across the universe,
timeless
area where time has no meaning. Any of these things are a possibility.
We don't know what's going
on. You've been converted to pure energy. You exist only as thought.
Right.
Any of these possibilities exist.